Hey, it's time to start to plan that vacation for tomorrow, maybe heading out to the beaches. Be careful. Of course, we've had all the hot weather, and you want to make sure that you pack the sunscreen and maybe even an umbrella because it gets awfully warm out there in the afternoon hours. It's going to be a bit breezy across the lakes. We're going to see some 15 to 25 mile-an-hour winds from Lake Superior all the way down through Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. The reason being is we're trying to push a frontal system through the area. And we're going to have the winds. We're also going to have some rain around the lakes, but there won't be any rain along the eastern seaboard. In fact, we're going to have sunshine once again. Not quite as hot, though. Temperatures are going to be in the 90s instead of 100, so if that's a break, I guess you'll take it. Meanwhile, we'll have some cloudier conditions, as I mentioned, around the lake states, and we will have plenty of sunshine, though, from the Carolina coast all the way down to Florida. South Florida could get a little bit rocky in the afternoon once again, like we saw today with the popping thunderstorms. The winds are going to be light, though, if you have some boating plans, 5 to 10 miles an hour along the entire coast of Florida. But if we have a thunderstorm pop up, it could be a little bit breezier. The breezy conditions will be along the north coast of California, but we'll still have plenty of sun.
Once in your lifetime comes the magic of truly great music. Loved by millions around the world, these are the greatest romantic melodies of our time. Of today's most memorable and relaxing hits. Piano by Candlelight. On 3 cassettes for only $19.99 or 2 compact discs for just $24.99.
To order Piano by Candlelight, use your credit card to call 1-800-648-1700 or send $19.99 for 3 cassettes or $24.99 for 2 compact discs, plus $4 shipping and handling to Piano by Candlelight, P.O. Box 11066, Department 140, Chicago, Illinois, 60611.
If you live in St. Charles County, just to the north of the St. Louis region, the levee is breaking in the area, and along the floodplain, they've evacuated some locations. That's just one of the stories we're talking about tonight. To find out the others, stay tuned.
Test the water before you hit the beach. Select from over 150 beach forecasts. 95 cents a minute. Call 1-900-WEATHER.
You know, 8 out of 10 of us can't program our own VCRs. So we've developed a VCR remote control that allows you to program your VCR with simple voice commands. For example, if you want to record a movie on Channel 7 Sunday at 9 p.m., you just say 7 Sunday 9 p.m. 11 p.m. Just that simple. I just program my VCR. Voice Programmer can also control your TV, VCR, and cable box by voice commands, even change channels. 5, 7. I can control my VCR by voice. Pause, fast forward, play. But watch this. I can even zap past commercials in my tapes just by saying, zap it. The VCR voice is not available in stores. For free information on this incredible breakthrough product, call now. Find out about this amazing new voice programmer. Call 1-800-347-4400. That's 1-800-347-4400.
If you're about to travel, watch the 5-Day Business Planner here on the Weather Channel at 20 minutes after every hour. You get a comprehensive national report that covers the forecast over the next 5 days. Watch the 5-Day Business Planner coming up soon on the Weather Channel. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current conditions. local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Forecast for cities nationwide. Forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
If you've heard me talking about training for a new career through ICS before and wondered just how home study works, well, here's what happens. Once you enroll in one of these courses, you'll receive a series of training shipments like these. Inside, there are hands-on projects for you to complete. They're fun, and you go step by step. Plus, you get all the equipment and supplies you need. As you finish each project, the next one is mailed to you until you've finished your course and received your diploma or degree. Call now to get your personalized career pack on the course you're most interested in. Choose from high school, TV, VCR repair, computer programming, electrician, animal care specialist, auto mechanics, bookkeeping, legal assistant, interior decorating, drafting, hotel restaurant management, learning the personal computer, electronics, or get your degree. You can major in business management or accounting.
Call now for the free information Sally Struthers spoke about. Then decide if you want to train at home for a better career to make more money. Call 1-800-821-2100. There is absolutely no obligation. That's 1-800-821-2100.
Well, it certainly was a warm day today in the eastern United States. A number of record highs set once again today. And actually, there is some cooler weather on the way, but not tonight. Check out our recent temperatures. In the East Coast right now, it's just about 20 after 11, or close to there. We're still looking at 80s in Boston and New York and Washington, D.C. and Raleigh, Durham, and 80 degrees right now in Detroit, Michigan. It's pretty warm there, even 87 around St. Louis is a touch on the warm side as well. A lot of heat and humidity continuing here. It was a chilly day today in the Northwest and the Northern Rockies, and temperatures have already cooled somewhat into the 50s and 60s. The Southwest holding on to their triple digits, a pair of 102-degree readings, and the heat and humidity factoring in to make it feel more like 104 right now in Phoenix. But just think, a couple hours after sunset and it still feels like 90 degrees around Dallas, or 92 in St. Louis, or 99 is what it feels like outside right this very minute. If you live in Washington, D.C., just step outside and go, this feels like 99. Well, that's what it feels like, to the skin at least. Looks like Sunday's going to be a little bit better, just a little bit though, and primarily for the Northeast. We've had a front move through. Some cooler and drier air affecting much of New York and Pennsylvania and parts of Michigan and Ohio, for instance. But also because of the proximity of the front, we've been seeing some rather active thunderstorms. But really, the majority of the thunderstorm problems have been in Nebraska and on toward Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, this region here. Now, back behind the front, that's where we've had the cool air. We had record lows this morning in the Northern Rockies. Yes, record lows. Here's where all our heat and humidity will continue again tomorrow. But that's kind of typical for this time of year. The folks who live here are maybe not thrilled about it, but they're used to it at least. Severe thunderstorms still a possibility, mainly in the central sections of the country, but a few isolated areas may still see some strong thunderstorms. There is a tornado watch in effect here in Nebraska, South Dakota, severe thunderstorm watch here and here. Let's show you the radar, show you what we've got rumbling about out there. We'll first take you into the central sections of the country, Nebraska, from Yankton, South Dakota, toward Grand Island, back toward McCook. This line of thunderstorms has been weakening somewhat as it heads off toward the east, but some heavy rains associated with it and some very intense thunderstorms. Northern areas of Missouri and central portions of Iowa continuing to dump very heavy rainfall.
Instantly remove tarnish and clean your precious jewelry, silverware, and gold. Quickly, effortlessly, and safely with the amazing product used by museums throughout the world. Their secret is the patented Quicksilver cleaning plate that lifts away tarnish and restores the luster to the surface. The Quicksilver electrolytic plate easily bathes away tarnish and deeply ingrained dirt from intricate pieces without rubbing, polishing, or chemical odors. Simply dissolve Quicksilver activator or washing soda in hot water. No, it's not ready yet, but watch this. Insert the Quicksilver electrolytic cleaning plate. Touch any heavily tarnished object to the plate, and in seconds, it's sparkling clean. And look, it cleans many objects at the same time. Quicksilver cleans and shines fine silverware, gold jewelry, gemstones, bronze, even copper and brass. Quicksilver is environmentally safe and lasts for years. The astonishing Quicksilver cleaning plate and activator is $19.95 plus $3.95 postage. Call now to order. To keep your jewelry and precious metalware tarnish-free and sparkling, order Quicksilver now.
Well, here we are on Saturday and heading into Sunday, the last day of the weekend before it's time to go back to work. And the same old thing is happening across the northeastern United States. The heat is in place. The records fell by the wayside today, but you know what? Tomorrow, we might not be talking about as many records. The reason being is the frontal system that we see in the northeast is going to start to push through the area slightly. You can see by Sunday morning it is clearing the Trenton, New Jersey area here, and that's going to bring some slightly cooler, slightly drier. Now, accent on the word slightly, because it doesn't mean we're going to drop way down in temperatures, but we are going to lose some 5 to 10 degrees off these readings that we saw for this afternoon. We are looking at some showers still likely along this frontal system here. And this thing here is going to try to head on through the area. So some big storms could be the possibility across parts of central Iowa in the morning hours. By midday, the front makes a move, and the showers will break on out right along the front. So basically Kirksville, Missouri to Chicago and up toward Milwaukee, you could be talking about thunder showers by the midday hours, and then more widespread showers will develop as the heat of the day gets going across the southeastern United States. Once again, quite a variety of storms, kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where they'll be, but they will be there in many locations, and you could see some pretty heavy rains come on in as the storms pass by. The good news is this area of high pressure here is going to build on in and give places like Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Des Moines a break as far as rainfall is concerned. But you're not going to get a break on the readings across much of the eastern United States. You can see temperatures in the 70s, whereas in the west we could once again see some record lows by the morning hours. In fact, only getting into the 60s in some locations across parts of Idaho for Sunday. And on into Monday, we notice that we still have those 90s, but we're going to erode them away as we head through the week across the eastern seaboard. They will stick in, though, across the south because it is summer, and this is very typical to see warm temperatures and scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon hours from the heating of the day. But overall, if I had to pick something that's going to happen, it's a general cool down across the nation as we head in to the mid and latter part of the week. As far as storms, they're going to hang on with our front on Monday here. Strong storms in the Plain States will be in the same location by Tuesday. And then things start to weaken slightly on Wednesday, and we see just scattered garden variety thunderstorms once again across the eastern seaboard even come Thursday.
Find out what you can do now to protect your home from wildfire. Watch Fire Safe Sunday, July 11th at 5 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Weather Channel.
This local forecast is sponsored by Sealy Posturepedic Support, only from Sealy.
Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Today's regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. and local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Your back works hard all day. You need Sealy Posturepedic support all night. Its Sense and Respond support system has patented coils. Unlike other premium coils, Sealy's gives easily at first for comfort. Then as weight increases, it responds with increasing support, correct support. And only Sealy Posturepedic has this steel span foundation with steel beams, not wood. Posturepedic support, only from Sealy.
See the Sealy Posturepedic dealer near you.
By nature, cats are choosy. Some even choose their owners. But Iams knows cats depend on people to give them what they need. More meat. Cats crave its taste. Meat is so important for eyes, muscle tone, skin and coat, and energy. And since there's more meat-based protein in Iams than the leading dry cat food, your cat will love it. So choose Iams, and your cat will be glad he chose you. Because more meat matters, insist on Iams.
All right, let's check out the forecast for your Sunday, where as we start in the northeast here, we'll find things a bit cooler tomorrow. Who knows if we'll see the record heat, but we won't see the triple digits. At least we've got our fingers crossed. Tomorrow, different than today. Why? Cold front moved through today. Now, still kind of muggy in the morning. Temperatures starting off in the 70s, but you know this morning in LaGuardia Airport, for instance, they started off the morning in the mid-80s. That was their morning low in the mid-80s. Well, tomorrow in the 70s instead, and afternoon highs in the 90s. A lot of sunshine expected here. Some cooling rains for Detroit, on through Ohio, down into parts of Virginia. Now, the showers across the south are going to be more widely scattered. You'll likely start off with sunshine to begin the day. Then the afternoon heating will come into play, and you'll see widely scattered thunder showers just about anywhere in the southeast. You just can't rule them out this time of year. Highs once again will be on into the 90s. It'll be a toasty afternoon up in Raleigh, 97 there, and generally dry across much of Texas. It looks like a high temperature tomorrow in Houston around 94. So lots of heat and humidity continuing here. Lots of humidity, not quite as much heat, but still warm enough. Finally, that frontal system that's bringing the heavy rains to the plains is beginning to eke its way eastward. Looks like the majority of the showers activity tomorrow in the dark green. That means Michigan, Wisconsin, seeing some heavier showers, lighter rains, some sunshine mixed in. Parts of Missouri, sunshine in the plains tomorrow. And in the west, it's still dry, and it's getting warmer. Looks like temperatures tomorrow in the northwest will be on into the 80s, most areas. Portland, though, 72. And down into the southwest, a great day to hang out at the beach with the high in L.A. of 79.
Find out what you can do now to protect your home from wildfire. Watch Fire Safe Sunday, July 11th at 5 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Weather Channel.
Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Regional conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. Special regional information. The forecast for cities nationwide. forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen. This is the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have been talking about the same old thing now for the last couple of weeks, and how many ways can you say it's hot in the east and it's raining and it's flooding in the Midwest? Well, let's try it. Let's explain it graphically as to what's going on and why we have seen such hot weather. Normally this time of the year we have what we call the Bermuda High, and that's kind of anchored off in the Atlantic Ocean. It's a very strong area of high pressure and sits there basically all summer. But what we found this year is that it actually got an early start, and it's been a little bit stronger than we normally expect. In fact, it's a sprawling high for the coast of Africa all the way into the eastern seaboard, and therefore we've been seeing a clockwise direction flow around an area of high pressure, bringing up the record heat all the way up into places like Portland, Maine, and even up into even farther north than that, some very warm readings. Our jet stream has been kind of going around this area of high pressure. It's been bringing the flooding to the same general areas as well, because our frontal systems have not been able to press on through this area of high pressure. So overall, it's brought us a lot of records. In fact, afternoon highs today, once again, were extremely hot along the eastern seaboard. The south, we expect to see these kind of readings for the most part. This is summer. Temperatures in the 90s is not out of the question. Places like Bismarck, North Dakota, though, talking about 69 degrees for the afternoon high. That's kind of weird there. And as I mentioned, several records. Newark, New Jersey was one of the places that we did see a record today, 105. That was tying the all-time record once again for the second time this week. It's the hottest spot. It was the hottest spot in the eastern part of the country. Now, this oppressive, motionless, mind-numbing heat can be very dangerous. In fact, you have to take it slow, drink plenty of fluids, and stay out of the sun when it gets to be this hot. The good news is we're going to see a slight cooling by tomorrow. So once again, a quick peek at those record high temperatures today. The list goes on even into the mid-Atlantic regions around Raleigh, Durham, and over toward Washington, D.C., Dulles Airport. The good news is, as we head into Sunday, notice the danger category comes out of the northeast, still in the mid-Atlantic region, but we're going to see a slight cool down across this part of the country. Right now, though, it's still very toasty out there. In fact, downright hot around New York City, the nation's capital, whereas you head back toward Buffalo, a little bit more desirable type reading, 75 degrees. Satellite picture shows us that we do have quite a bit of activity in the plain states right now across parts of Nebraska. Some strong storms rumbling on through. We've had reports of possible tornadoes, large hail, and quite a bit of rain in a short period of time. And these storm system, early this morning we saw a storm system track through northeastern parts of Kansas, dropping 4, 5, even 6 inches of rain near the Kansas City area, tracking across northern Missouri and right on into parts of Illinois and scooting on through. We did see some rough weather around the Madison area, possible tornadoes just to the north and west of Madison, Wisconsin, and also some storms passed through the New York City area, kind of pushed up and out of here. Still some rough stuff in southern parts of Florida, Miami reporting in with a thunder shower. Here we go, and imagine, if you will, there were fronts on this map. That's forget it. We'll just move right along here into the weather watches for tonight. The yellow indicating we have severe thunderstorm watches, and the red, the tornado watch, kind of being skimmed away in the western parts of Nebraska. The radar picture shows us some of the strongest activity is right along the Missouri border, spread throughout the central parts of Illinois, and our stuff through Nebraska is rushing onto the east at about 30 to 40 miles an hour, and really causing a ruckus here as it moves on through, basically from the O'Neill, Ord area right on back to near McCook and Imperial. And then we're also seeing a cluster of storms move on to the St. Joe area, and Minnesota is getting a little bit more rain as our frontal system presses on through. Taking a closer look into Nebraska now. As I mentioned, heading toward Norfolk, Virginia, looking at, or Yankton, I should say, looking at some thunder showers. Grand Island down to Hastings, expect some gusty winds as the storms roll on through the area. And over toward Lamoni and Kirksville in Missouri, and we pick up that line and it actually extends into parts of Illinois. from Burlington to Peoria, and this whole thing is sort of sinking to the south very, very slowly, but still expect some heavy rains out of this. The showers now basically done across the Milwaukee and Chicagoland area. As we head into Sunday morning, what's going to happen here is our front drops through the northeast. It brings a slight relief to the hot readings that we've seen. This thing presses on to the south and east, and the showers and thunderstorms will follow it along. High pressure will build in and actually give us a break across parts of the upper Midwest. But through tonight and into tomorrow morning, notice that the areas of dark green, we could see possibly up to an inch in some locations still. Temperatures in the 70s for the overnight hours, possibly seeing some more record cool readings across the northwestern part of our country. And then once again, the heat will be on tomorrow, not quite as hot. And then into Monday, we start to see these 90-degree temperatures chisel away slightly and be replaced by more 80-degree readings. And overall, the general trend is through the week is going to be a slight cool down across much of the country. Deserts still remaining relatively hot. Showers will still be with us in the eastern seaboard on Monday. Strong storms in the plain states will kind of shift their way westward by Wednesday.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. Thinking about refinancing your home? Even if you've been late on some payments in the past, you can still refinance your first mortgage and get today's low rates at the Money Store. Because the Money Store looks at your total credit picture. They won't automatically disqualify you for some late payments. And you can apply by phone with no application fee. So even if you've been late on some payments, you can still refinance your first mortgage. Call the Money Store at 1-800-944-7198.
Find out what you can do now to protect your home from wildfire. Watch Fire Safe Sunday, July 11th at 5 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Weather Channel.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Current regional conditions. Special regional information. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Long-range outlook. The regional forecast. The extended forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
The official forecast for summer 1993. Light to moderate breezes, cooler temperatures, and gently falling utility bills. Conditions are expected to persist for the next 20 to 45 years. Other than that, everything's quiet. Hunter, the quiet fan.
Only one adult cereal could be this much fun to eat. Basic 4, a colorful mix of lightly toasted flakes, sweet and tangy fruits, and crunchy nuts. Splash on cold milk and you get something tasty from each of the 4 food groups. Basic 4. Tastes so good, you'll forget it's for adults.
Find out what you can do now to protect your home from wildfire. Watch Fire Safe Sunday, July 11th at 5 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Weather Channel.
Time now to show you the forecast for tomorrow in the western United States. Some subtle changes here. Doesn't look like much change Sunday morning as that cold front basically just remaining in place. To the south of it, it's been very warm. To the north of it, it's been kind of cool. We had record lows this morning across parts of Montana and Idaho, and again tomorrow morning it's going to be a bit on the chilly side. Could see some showers as well. What we are going to see happening, though, in the next 24 hours is an area of low pressure forming on into western sections of Idaho. That's going to keep things cool and a bit unsettled. I think tomorrow in Washington and Oregon, you'll see a better chance of rain tomorrow than you did today. Spokane's been seeing some rain today, but more widespread showers here, just isolated showers down to the south and west. The marine layer is going to be especially active tomorrow along the coastal areas. So if you have plans to head to the beach, wait a little while and give those clouds a chance to burn off. They should burn off in most instances, and it'll be very mild along the beach, comfortable. And again, the triple digits continuing in the deserts and even on into the valleys of California northward, though it starts off cool. Temperatures are rapidly going to heat up. It looks like 90 tomorrow in Sacramento, 91 for Reno. That's going to be a hot day there. But cool because of clouds and more showers tomorrow across much of the northwest. In fact, we could find some thunder showers throughout Spokane and Pendleton and just downright cloudy in Salem.
Do you suffer from morning stiffness or aches, snoring, restless sleep? You deserve a better night's sleep. Try the Contour Pillow from Comfort Track. It's anatomically designed to match the natural shape of your neck and head as it aligns and supports. Ordinary and down pillows lose their shape and don't support your neck. Don't do this to your neck. The Contour Pillow comfortably supports your neck so your muscles can relax, reducing strain and allowing you to breathe more freely.
My husband isn't snoring any longer.
I did notice when I woke up after using the Contour Pillow a lack of stiffness in my upper shoulder and neck area.
The Contour Pillow is not available in stores. Doctors and chiropractors sell similar products for $50 and even $60. Get your Contour Pillow for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Don't wait until you have discomfort. Order now. Call now to order, and we'll give you the zippered washable cover, a $5 value, free.
Have your credit card ready. Call now. 1-800-772-6600. That's 1-800-772-6600. Or send check or money order to the address on your screen.
Time now to check out what's happening on the radar, but first a reminder, still tornado watches in effect. Nebraska, South Dakota, severe thunderstorm watch here in the area shaded in yellow. Unfortunately, our severe thunderstorms decreasing in intensity, but still a possibility in central areas of Illinois. Show you the national scene. First, the flashing area showing you where we're seeing our stronger storms. We'll first head you into Nebraska, where the storms have weakened as they've continued to head eastward, but still some heavy rain and hail and certainly gusty winds. Gusty wind seems to be the main concern with this particular line of storms from Yankton, South Dakota, down toward Grand Island, back toward McCook, pushing off southeast. Some heavy rains, too, around the St. Joseph region, also moving very little but slowly eastward around Sioux Falls. Earlier, we'd seen some rather strong storms, and they're heading east. Some heavy rains in southern areas of Minnesota, and especially northeastern Missouri here, back into central areas of Illinois. Not moving very rapidly and moving over the same area, so you're likely to encounter some flooding on the roadways tonight.
Test the water before you hit the beach. Select from over 150 beach forecasts. 95 cents a minute. Call 1-900-WEATHER.
The following is for veterans and their spouses age 45 to 75.
You promise to love. You promise to honor. You promise to cherish. And maybe the most important promise of all, to protect and care for each other. That's a promise Veterans Life Insurance can help you keep.
Do you have enough life insurance? Call Veterans Life toll-free for free information about $1-a-week term life insurance, just for veterans and their spouses age 45 to 75. There's no medical exam, and your benefits never go down.
To love, to honor, to cherish all the days of your life.
Call 1-800-637-4800 to find out how to apply for $1-a-week life insurance from Veterans Life Insurance Company.
You're watching the Weather Channel for accurate forecasts at your convenience. Weather you can always turn to. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, A look at your local radar. But first, the current conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Forecast for cities nationwide. Regional forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Roaches. They keep coming back because they may be immune to your insecticides. That's why we developed new Combat Superbait insecticide. After years of research, we created a unique new formula. It contains hydromethalnon, a powerful active ingredient that even kills roaches immune to other insecticides. It's a major breakthrough in roach control. Here's how it works. Roaches enter the disc, eat the bait, and carry it back to their nest. Then behind the wall, they start a domino effect. It keeps on killing other roaches for 3 months. But we weren't satisfied with lab tests alone. We tested it in homes. Homes with tough roach problems. And proved no roach is immune. We're so sure it'll work for you, we guarantee it. Or we'll give you your money back. So look for the gold box, new Combat Superbait. We've made a science of killing your roaches.
Let's check out the tropics right now. It has actually been relatively quiet. We had Hurricane Calvin to deal with well, several days ago, and now we turn our attentions to the Atlantic, because what we're noticing is this tropical wave right here. It is not a tropical storm or a disturbance, but the aircraft went in there, a reconnaissance plane went in there to check things out, to check out the winds and to see if there was any rotation. They did find that it was moving rather rapidly to the west at about 25 miles an hour, and they also found very little circulation. And of course we need some circulation to indicate that it is trying to form into something. So as of right now, we don't have any formation here. It just is causing a lot of wind and a lot of storms throughout the area. But we will keep you updated on the situation. A lot of windy conditions across the Leeward Islands, and also some storms as well. Meanwhile, the coast of Africa is fairly quiet. Really, actually, the quiet I've seen it in some time. It seems that we've had quite a bit of storm activity that is coming across the west part of the continent, moves on over the waters and kind of dies out. But this thing here didn't really die out, and we can look at it in a different picture here. And you do notice quite a bit of cloud cover, quite a bit of cluster of clouds that are moving on through the area, causing, as you can imagine, some thunderstorms and also some windy conditions. And it looks like it's losing a bit of its punch. It's moving on into the Caribbean, but only time will tell, I guess. So if we get any information on this, we'll definitely pass it along to you very quickly here at the Weather Channel. Meanwhile, still some strong storms you can see by the oranges indicating across the Miami area due to kind of leftover of what was rumbling across the part of the state earlier today. And we take another vantage point and we take you into the Pacific. And this is where we had Hurricane Calvin. That has all dissipated. And we were watching a little blip right here, but this is basically dissipated as well. And we just have some monsoonal moisture that is doing a pretty good job of bringing some rains into the Douglas, Arizona area. And also, we've had quite a few statements coming out of Tucson of some rains here. So really, just a few patches of clouds right along the Pacific, and that is just about it. as far as the tropics are concerned. Let's take you back to the United States right now, check out the current situation. It is this frontal system here is really wiggly, and we are seeing most of the activity now across parts of Nebraska and Kansas extending into Iowa. If you're doing some traveling tonight across parts of Iowa, they have advised no travel across I-80, I-35. They're urging you not to travel because a lot of the roadways are flooded. The secondary roadways are flooded, and they've had to detour traffic quite a bit. So keep that in mind. If you don't have to head out on your trip tonight, maybe hold off until tomorrow when the sun comes back out and you can see things a little bit better. As we head through Sunday afternoon, this front is going to press on through it, so at least you'll be driving in sunshine throughout parts of Iowa tomorrow. And we'll see once again scattered thunderstorm activity across the southeast. And of course, temperatures once again are sizzling into the 90s. Not quite as hot, though, for the northeastern United States. We take you to the Pacific right now and show you what's going to happen here. Rather cloudy day along some of the coastal areas, and that kept things relatively cool. Well, what's going to happen tomorrow afternoon is we're going to see this little deal drop on through from the Gulf of Alaska, and that's going to be a reinforcement of some cooler air for parts of Washington and Oregon, which most places already running below normal for the month of June and July. Tomorrow it's going to be another cool one here. We could have some coastal areas talking about fog, especially from, let's say, the Sacramento area to the south, with some low clouds hanging on in the morning hours. You can see Santa Barbara to San Diego looking at some clouds here. But as we head into the afternoon hours, become partly cloudy. San Bernardino, 93 degrees, hazy sunshine here. Clouds, there's our clouds around San Francisco. We'll get rid of them by the afternoon. And for the northwest, some storms moving on in.
No matter how often you clean the outside of your car, if your gasoline isn't cleaning the inside, your pride and joy could go down the drain. May we suggest Chevron with Tetraline. Its cleansing power can help bring back the performance you've been missing. Chevron, simply smarter.
Visit your local Chevron dealer today.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Forecast for cities nationwide. Regional forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Hello, I'm Charles Kuralt, CBS News. From 25 years of wandering through America, I've collected my favorite stories in a new series of programs for the Travel Channel. It's a lovely trip. You're invited to come along. On the road.
Go on the road with Charles Kuralt. Every day at 1:30 and 10 Eastern on the Travel Channel. If you don't have the Travel Channel, call your cable operator today.
In our continuing search for the best of everything, our special segment today applies to all motorists. Straining to see through a rain-soaked windshield is no fun and can be unsafe, but there is a solution. It's called Rain-X, the invisible windshield wiper. It dramatically improves wet weather visibility. After my first application, I was a true believer. With Rain-X, you'll feel safer driving in the rain. Go out and get your Rain-X today.
Look for Rain-X, the invisible windshield wiper at all fine automotive departments near you.
Lysol spray use number 64, that funky smell in the garbage can. Use number 75, Rover's latest surprise. Use number 72, the busiest seat in the house. Lysol disinfectant spray, there's nothing this can can't do.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers.
Flooding continues to be a problem in Nebraska and Kansas and Missouri. Even these are the areas that have the flash flood watches and affect the areas in the dark green. But even in central Iowa, we have problems with the secondary roads being flooded, and so everybody's trying to use the major interstates. Now the major interstates are like cram-packed with people. So emergency management officials in Iowa, especially central Iowa, are urging folks not to travel unless it's absolutely necessary. So if you must travel through Des Moines, for instance, do so only if it is necessary. Well, aside from the flooding problems, we'll continue to see rain in the upper Midwest through the Great Lakes and some dying showers in parts of the south and east, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. It looks like the majority of the severe weather activity will be in Ohio and back into Illinois, and then back over the Central Plains, where there are tornado watches, Nebraska and South Dakota, and then a severe thunderstorm watch here until a little later on this evening. And also a severe thunderstorm watch, a small sliver of it in central Illinois. Well, the winds are fairly calm for much of the country, but still a bit brisk in the areas here shaded in blue.
For regional Michelin drivers reports, call the Weather Channel Connection, 1-900-WEATHER.
Snow. You've got Michelin's new all-season MXV4, a luxury performance tire with a very special feature. Climate control. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you, because so much is riding on your tires.
Find out what you can do now to protect your home from wildfire. Watch Fire Safe Sunday, July 11th at 5 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Weather Channel.
Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. Special regional information. The forecast for cities nationwide. forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen. You're watching the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
Last 3 or 4 days have been unbearably hot for many along the eastern seaboard, and there was one more day of intense heat in Boston, although now cooler times are at least temporarily moving in there. Indeed, the worst of it perhaps behind Bostonians, as a 5th day of temperatures into the 90s to near 100 were felt even along the coast. Boston baked in temperatures close to 100 all afternoon, and from scenes of downtown Boston, including Faneuil Hall and Newbury Street, to Cape Cod, where the beaches were crowded with people trying to escape the heat, the scene was the same. President Clinton declared major disaster areas in Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri today, or earlier, in the wake of record-shattering Mississippi River flooding. Up to 7 inches of rainfall fell in Kansas City, Missouri Friday night, sending water several feet deep, coursing through several of the city's streets. Some of this water flowed into the Missouri River on its way to the Mississippi north of St. Louis. In Missouri, an estimated 430 square miles of land is underwater, and the Mississippi River crest is not expected to reach St. Louis until late next week. Well, the long-term prospects for the weather pattern perhaps showing some signs of at least a little bit of let-up in the incredible rainfall rates out there. We still have the cool air across Montana and the Pacific Northwest, and blazing hot and humid temperatures in the southeast. But as time goes by, it may be just by virtue of the fact that we're getting to the hottest time of the year that the area of hot weather may actually back up a little bit into the Rocky Mountain states, and that would bring the boundary between the cool air and the hot air, which is producing all that rain, just a little bit farther west. But that will still take a little while to occur. It is raining hard right now throughout much of the Corn Belt and the Mississippi Valley, and all that rain still has to wash out down the Mississippi River, so more flooding can be expected. Unfortunately, West Coast, things looking much quieter. A hint of fog now, basically north of Santa Maria and up into the San Francisco Bay Area. You see some of the cloudiness here, which is just basically part of the monsoonal flow that begins in July and August and eventually works into Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. So boaters, beware. We could have some gusty winds developing each afternoon, especially over southern Arizona and New Mexico as those storms begin to brew in the afternoon. The low pressure area you see here is associated with heat. Not much weather associated with that. There are some clouds near the coast. And with all the record high temperatures that did occur in the east, we have a couple of record lows to talk about in the west. And of course, a lot of campers up there in the Rocky Mountain states at this time of the year experiencing a cool 44-degree record tying temperature at Great Falls, Montana, while Worland, Wyoming got down below 50 degrees. Saturday's high temperatures, it was a cool one up there at Cut Bank and Billings. In fact, through the Yellowstone Plateau, temperatures likely even cooler than the readings you see here. Cut Bank only 58 degrees for a high temperature. No doubt the Absaroka Range up there and the Wind River Range in Wyoming were obscured by clouds for a time, and there may have even been some snowflakes in the very highest peaks of the Tetons for backpackers at that elevation of 10, 11, 12,000 feet. Farther south, Lander hit 78. Salt Lake City was hot up to 89. And of course, the relative humidity out here is very low at this time of the year. Current temperatures in Southern California, Ontario 75, Palm Springs still 94, and it's hot in the desert with Blythe and Imperial still well into the 90s, a little bit over 100 out there in the far eastern desert. San Francisco 62 with a hint of fog beginning to show up around the Golden Gate Bridge. Farther south, Monterey's running 60, and in the Central Valleys, Fresno 91 and Sacramento running 78 with the Tahoe Valley in the lower 70s. Seattle's enjoying a pleasantly cool evening at 62. Stampede Pass, an elevation of 4,000 feet, is 47. No reports of earth motion in the Pacific Northwest. The Bay Area of California, in a very minor earth trembler, reported well east of the Los Angeles basin, but that was about a 2.5 and really didn't amount to very much. Elsewhere around the country, here's how things are looking right now. Stationary front through the Ohio Valley, south of which the warm, humid air continues to ride north, and occasionally the thunderstorm clusters that work along there behind them will draw down slightly cooler air. there has been a significant change in the temperature and humidity levels in Boston, even New York City. The wind dramatically has shifted around to northwest, and it would appear that it will feel more comfortable during Sunday. Now, in the afternoon, the temperatures will still probably be close to 90, maybe a little bit above in some cases, but notably, the humidity will be lower, the sky will look bluer, there'll be a breeze out of the northwest, and we will all feel a lot more comfortable. A different story in the southeast, the green elements representing where showers and storms are still firing up. Let's take a look at national radar right now. We can show a few concentrations of those showers in the Carolinas. In fact, in South Carolina, they can use every drop of rain that is available because the peach crop is in serious, serious trouble. It's been awfully dry there, and these evening spreaders are helping just a little bit. Thunderstorms were locally strong earlier around Fort Myers, Naples, and Sanibel Island. Had golf ball size hail at about 7 o'clock. Well, those storms have begun to wind down just a little bit. The northeast looking drier, some showers beginning to diminish in Pennsylvania right now. But look at this line of storms, a particularly violent looking storm southeast of Peoria, and more back into extreme northeastern Missouri. All of those, of course, traversing the Mississippi River and adding to the flooding problems there. More showers and storms can be seen from Fort Wayne, Indiana to Lafayette, a storm just south of there, producing some lightning and thunder. Finally into Florida, where you can see much of the shower activity confined to the Miami Beach area on through Fort Myers and Naples. But as time has gone by here, you can see the progression from east to west of those showers and thunderstorm elements, and they are beginning to diminish a little bit in intensity at the present time. There's a broad view of the action occurring from southern Minnesota into central Nebraska, and the advisories out of Iowa are saying if you don't have to travel at all in Iowa, just don't. Don't even think about traveling across. Readings in San Francisco 72, and the Pacific Northwest showing temperatures by afternoon close to 70 degrees. Here's hot to continue throughout the south. Quotas also into parts of the Rocky Mountain states. Stay tuned. We'll take a look at what's happening at the beaches coming up next.
High cost of health care? Everyone has a part in keeping it down. So we took what you like about Walmart and what you want in a pharmacy and put it right inside your Walmart store. The result?
Walmart's pharmacy department.
With professional service and the low price on every prescription.
So next time, bring it here.
Or ask your doctor to call.
Walmart's pharmacy department, your full service pharmacy, right inside Walmart. Always the low price, always.
days.
Walmart, always the low price, always.
I know what I like and don't like. I don't like irregularity. It slows me down. I don't like harsh chemical laxatives. I like natural. Like new smooth texture, regular flavored Metamucil. It's the only natural fiber with no sweeteners, no added flavors, as well as no grit. I don't like those. So it's easy to take, easy to get the extra fiber I need. And it works just the way I expect from Metamucil, to get the body up and running. I like that.
Metamucil, the natural choice for regularity.
It's weekend, and that means fun time for most folks anyway. Across the West, we're going to look for some good beaching conditions if you're going to be out there working on your tan. Could be, however, a little brisk if you get out in the waters, but you know it's kind of chilly in the Pacific Ocean this time of year. We're looking at winds up to around, let's say 25 miles per hour or more. There are your water temperatures, 40s and 50s. I don't know, I'm not used to that West Coast water. That's kind of chilly to me. And you head a little farther down the south, though, you're into the 70s. But look at this, a few clouds right along the coast. Otherwise, plenty of sunshine inland. There will be some clouds up around the Strait of Juan de Fuca and mild temperatures in that area. Across the southeast, the same old, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and you will see some sunshine, but I guarantee you it will be hot. Water temperatures here, of course, much warmer, mild winds. Improving conditions in the northeast. It will still be quite warm and a lot of sunshine here, but I think you'll notice that the relative humidity will be a little bit more pleasant for your Sunday. Well, speaking of Sunday, let's check some specific city forecast.
If you or someone you love is at all interested in finding out about an adjustable bed, then please listen closely to this commercial. A few short years ago, I became the youngest president ever of the Wonder Bed Electric Bed Company. Unlike other companies, we'll never try to fake you out with hard-to-believe promises and high pressure. We'll never send a salesman to your home. All we want to do is mail you our free video and brochure. There's absolutely no cost or obligation, and you never have to buy anything. The factory has been in business for over 30 years, and we have customers in all 50 states. Please call our toll-free number and allow us to give you names of people in your area who already have our bed. We have the best electric bed for the most reasonable price in the country. There's never any hassle, as we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and we really put our money where our mouth is, as we'll beat any competitor's price by $50 on a similar bed. So call us today.
Call the Weather Channel Connection, 1-900-WEATHER. For just 95 cents a minute, you can connect and get the weather for over 900 cities worldwide.
Now, through Children International, you can sponsor a child with no money down. And you can see for yourself the actual child you would be helping. And get to know that child before you decide to become a sponsor. Call now, and we'll rush you free with no obligation the photo and case history of one precious child who needs you. Hold her picture. Then if you decide to sponsor this child, simply mail your first monthly gift of only $10 and she will be assigned to you. Your contributions will be combined with those of several other sponsors who will help provide for your individual child. Call now to receive the photo and personal history of an actual child who needs a sponsor, all on a no-money-down basis and with no obligation on your part. Call 1-800-257-0500. That's 1-800-257-0500. If you you're about to travel, watch the 5-day business planner here on the Weather Channel at 20 minutes after every hour. You get a comprehensive national report that covers the forecast over the next 5 days. Watch the 5-day business planner coming up soon on the Weather Channel. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Forecast for cities nationwide. Regional forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Well, the East Coast bakes. The flooding continues along the Mississippi River, where President Clinton declared a large area of Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri a major disaster area. The record-shattering rainfall along the Mississippi River continuing, with up to 7 inches of it falling in Kansas City, Missouri Friday night, sending water several feet deep.
When wildfire strikes, have you done all you can to protect your family and property? What should you be doing now to make your home fire safe inside and out? Find out when the Weather Channel presents urgent information that can help you protect what you've worked so hard to build. Watch Fire Safe Inside and Out today at 5 and again at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Weather Channel.
Well, here's that forecast that many of you wait all hour to see, and we show it to you several times an hour. It's the 5-day business planner, and what it gives you is the information that we have come together with our computer models and think this is what's going to happen. At least this is what it looks like right now. And for Sunday, we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms in the southeast. Once again, the battleground right here. We've got the warm air here and the cooler and drier air back behind this frontal system. And when these two air masses meet, well, that's where we see the thunderstorms firing up. And as a result, a lot of rain. Too much rain right along the Mississippi River, and that has caused us some flooding problem. And so we'll still continue to have that tomorrow, too. The front will sag a little bit farther onto the east and southeast. Now, there is a little bit of good news here in the northeast as we see a front moving through already tonight that's cooling things down just a tad, but more importantly, it's dropping the humidities down somewhat. Enjoy that while you can, because eventually this warm air is going to be spreading back up to the northeast once again. There's a new system coming into the west. Not much in the way of rain there. We will see some cooler temperatures overnight tonight, your 30s and 40s. And the heat will continue right across the south. Look at this, 100 degrees. You can count on it from Augusta, Georgia, up to Charleston, South Carolina, and stretching right on into North Carolina. What a hot day it will be. Now, it will still be warm in New York City tomorrow, but we'll take the edge off a little bit. Instead of 100 degrees, try maybe 95 tomorrow in the tri-state area. The cooler air will remain back across the northwest, unseasonably cool in many of these spots, 50s and 60s. Meanwhile, we will see a bit more in the cooling department across the northeastern part of the country, but no such luck to the south. The 90s will stay in place here, so please take precautions if you're going to be working outside. Construction workers really have a rough time, so if that's your area, you certainly want to be extra careful and be sure you have plenty of liquids. Water is really the best thing that you can have when you're out there sweating it out in the summer heat. Isolated thunderstorms across the southeastern part of the country will continue to be the case on Monday. We'll see some strong storms barreling across parts of the Midwest. Some people there are just, your heart goes out to them. They've had such problems with all this rain continuing. So do watch out in this area tomorrow. If you're going to be traveling through there, be extra careful. We've already got flooded roadways there. Many cities, in fact, are flooded. Looks like maybe a little bit of a break towards the end of the week, but the rain is still continuing in this general area.
Find out what you can do now to protect your home from wildfire. Watch Fire Safe today at 5 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Weather Channel.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Today's regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Anytime, any place, go fish. Anyone, any taste, go fish. Any day, any night, any size, appetite. One place doesn't rhyme. Go fish.
At Long John's, get what you want any way you want it. From combo platters to baked meals, from value packs to $1.99 specials.
You can get your wings. Go fish. Long John Silver's.
Go for one of our 3 great $1.99 specials. And don't forget to add a piece.
Go fish with Long John Silver's, where America goes for fish.
I hit the floor at 9 a.m. and I'm going non-stop till we close. That's why I fix a dent and forget it.
An all-night shift and 5 cups of coffee, no problem. Now I fix a dent and forget it.
Even in the hottest liquids, when other adhesives stop holding, Fix-A-Dent holds stronger and longer.
Why not? Now that he switched to Fix-A-Dent, he can go from morning till night and still eat like that.
For the strongest, longest hold, Fix-A-Dent and forget it.
Well, if you feel like braving the chilly Pacific water temperatures out there, you'll have a nice beach day coming up in California. Specifically, the water temperature out here is only in the 50s, and if you live in the West Coast, you're used to that, but that's quite a shock to people in the East, where the water temperature reflects the Gulf Stream, which rides north. The water current here is the Humboldt current. It comes down the west coast like this. Now, the air temperatures will be warm. It'll be very hot inland, as a matter of fact, but with high pressure off the coast here, well, that's a cool, dense air mass off the coast, and it will tend to work inland. The rising hot air in the interior will be replaced by that maritime air off the ocean, and as a result, we'll have low clouds, fog, and some drizzle early in the day. But you know, that July sunshine's warm, and if you're heading for the beach, bring along the suntan lotion, the sunblock. You'll need it out there as the sun will break through quickly. And don't be deceived by that. Even though we'll have some low clouds, a lot of those ultraviolet rays will still get through, and you can get burns. 81 for a high at Long Beach, Laguna Beach, Del Mar, on south to San Diego, Mission Bay up close to 80. Low clouds and fog for San Francisco. That's the normal course of events for this time of the year. 72 in the afternoon in the Monterey Peninsula. A very nice day coming up. Route 5, Red Bluff, Sacramento to Fresno, 101. And at the valley floor in Yosemite, 89 for a high. If you're heading up to Tioga Pass, it will be a little bit cooler as elevation allows the atmosphere to cool a bit as you're heading to the high country, the Sierra Nevada. A mixture of clouds and sunshine much of the day from Seattle to Quileute, and over the Cascades, a chance of a thunderstorm for Yakima and Spokane.
Find out what you can do now to protect your home from wildfire. Watch Fire Safe today at 5 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Weather Channel.
Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Current regional conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. The extended forecast. Special regional information. The forecast for cities nationwide. local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen. This is the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
This is the summer of extremes. Extremely cool in one part of the country, hot in the other, and just entirely too wet in the midsection. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Channel. I'm Lisa Spencer along with Tom Chisholm. Let's start first with what's a little cooler than normal. Across the Northwest, Washington and Oregon have experienced temperatures, some 4 or 5 degrees, what we normally expect for this time of year. But of course, the heat has been on here in the Southwest, up around 110 degrees. Havasu City for today in Arizona, so some very hot stuff in this general area. Meanwhile, though, fair skies and abundant sunshine across California today. Let's check out our surface map and see exactly what's going on here. Well, you see this low pressure area here, just not much in the way of thunderstorms happening with that. Some thunderstorms moving in across the Southwest as we're starting to get into the monsoonal flow time of the year, so we are seeing some storms there. But you do notice the blue line with a few showers right along that frontal system. That's also the dividing line between some warmer air and cooler air, and it's much cooler back up in the Rockies. We had some record lows this morning, like Great Falls, Montana at 44 degrees, tying a record in Worland, Wyoming at 49.2. And a chilly afternoon, Cut Bank only up to 58 today, 65 for Seattle. So this area in general has been cooler than normal. But when you head down to the south, 104 degrees today in Phoenix, Arizona. Hot stuff. The only thing you got going for you here is the fact that your humidity is much lower than it is across the southeast, which we'll talk about that in just a few moments. Here we are now into the 70s, 91 for Palm Springs. Looking at 70s and 80s in the valley areas. It's quite a bit warmer in Marysville as opposed to Sacramento, where they're at 70 degrees right now. Here across Washington and Oregon, we're in the 60s, and up there in the higher elevations around Stampede Pass, it's 47 degrees. Really nothing to report as far as earth movement today at all until we head down to Southern California. About 20 miles west-northwest of 29 Palms, we had a little bit of earth movement, and it was at 2.7 on the Richter scale, so relatively mild. Across the rest of the country, it's almost, you hate to say it, but the same old, same old. In the midsection of the country, entirely too much rain. Just incredible. You see what's going on is we have this dividing line, this frontal system. It is the dividing line between the cooler and drier air here and then the warm, hot air to the south. So we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms firing up here. And by the way, I need to tell you that you're starting to get a break here in the Northeast with temperatures coming down just a bit. But more important than that, the humidity's dropping somewhat. But not the case in the Southeast. This is where not only do you have above normal temperatures, but you've got that humidity to contend with too, while things are cooler than normal here back across the west. So our current temperatures show your 50s and 60s, as we pointed out to you in the west a few moments ago, and much warmer down to the south. 82 degrees now in Atlanta, Georgia. It is 86 degrees in New York City. And we had record highs. Look at this, New York City, 102 degrees today. That was a record high. And the third day in a row that at Central Park, they were above 100 degrees. Hot stuff. So what do you do in the heat? Well, you try to stay cool. And that's what the folks in Boston, Massachusetts were doing today. Shorts and T-shirts. That was what you were wearing today. Also getting something cool to drink helps the body too, because you know when you've got temperatures over 100 degrees like it has been in the Boston area, you've got to help replenish some of the body's fluids that of course it's losing. And another way to enjoy the heat is just to get out there at Cape Cod and enjoy a little fun in the sun. Unfortunately, it was not much fun today across parts of the Midwest. The flooding continues along the Mississippi River in Missouri as another levee breaks. Many people are realizing they are just not prepared for this much water.
Imagine leaving your home one day with the view of flooding water across the street. The next day you return to find that same water is a foot deep in your living room. That is exactly what has happened to the residents of LeMay, Missouri, a tiny town along the Mississippi River southwest of St. Louis. Homeowners like Catherine Burnett are left searching for answers.
They said they built that levee 20 years ago to stop this from happening. And so we didn't take flood insurance because they haven't had a flood here in 20 years. Well, I found out just a few days ago they didn't finish the levee. They said they ran out of money. That's why this is all happening. So I rushed out and got flood insurance, but it didn't take effect until Monday night at midnight. So I just lost everything. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll just pray and see what happens.
The levee gave way just before midnight Friday night. Many people joined in as residents scrambled to get their belongings to higher ground.
Everybody's been just wonderful. We've had people out here that don't even live out here sandbagging and really putting their hearts into it, and it kind of helps. It doesn't take away the hurt, but it kind of helps, you know.
Unfortunately, there's not much relief from the weather in sight for folks of LeMay. The water continues to rise.
And actually, it's not expected to crest around the St. Louis area till next Saturday. So we definitely have some problems, and these problems are continuing tonight with some strong, severe thunderstorms inching onto the east. So that means more heavy downpours in these areas. Let's check that frontal band once again and see the showers and thunderstorms focused right here. And we do have the possibility of more severe weather tonight. And as I was mentioning to you, definitely we are looking for some record crest in this area as we continue through the next several days. The front inches on slightly to the east tomorrow. There'll be more scattered showers and thunderstorms across the southeastern part of the country. Meanwhile, in the west, we are looking for, once again, some nice conditions with the exception of a few thunderstorms firing up. Specifically, there is your forecast for Sunday. Hot to the south. And in the valley areas, definitely some warm conditions as we continue right on through Sunday. Up to the northwest, a few clouds here and possibly some thunderstorms breaking out during the afternoon time. How about the next few days? Unfortunately, no relief in sight across the south. 90-degree temperatures remain. There will be a break across the northeast. More strong thunderstorms will be across the plains, inching onto the east by Tuesday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing all the way through the week. Just a tad in the way of relief coming up across the Midwest. Thanks for joining us. We hope you'll stick around for your local weather. It'll be up in just a few moments right here on the Weather Channel.